Yeah, I think a lot of the artists that I like would suffer from some sort of mental anguish, you know, whether it was diagnosed or not. Half of the time, it's not diagnosed, and I think art is that that therapy, that therapeutic way that they have to express their madness in a way. Van Gogh's like a good example of like madness. He's like one of the most famous examples of madness in art mixed together, and you know he ended up killing himself really early in his life, 37 years old. I think if he had the benefit of like modern medicine and or you know the psychoanalysis and things like that, he probably wouldn't have painted at all. He might have just been normal, had a job, and kept his unhappiness inside of him, hidden inside of him, like a lot of people do nowadays. I don't think he would have painted at all. I think like these artists that have suicidal or work end up being suicides and or talk about it. They go to art to kind of push their confusion out into the art. You know, try to get that feeling out of them in a way. And personally, that's what I try to do. Everybody, you know, like people ask me, like if somebody would ask me why do I paint, I would tell them so I don't kill myself. Nobody, you know, and I've said that to some people here and there, and they don't take it seriously. I'm like, no, I mean, it's one of the things that I do, not to fucking off myself, you know? Like, I could take that madness of living all the time and being told what to do, having to deal with other people's rules, other people's opinions, other people's feelings, other people. You have to deal with other people's like unhappiness all the time. They project it out onto you, and like you have to deal with other people's like ideas of what you should be doing with your life. You know, you can't do this. You shouldn't be doing this. If you do this, you're a loser. If you do this, whatever. You know, art is a realm where you literally create your own world. You know, you could have that freedom. You could be as beautiful as you want to be. You know, you can you can destroy. It could be meditative. You know, you can be funny. You could be serious. You could just do whatever you want. You know, you don't have to be polite. You don't have to be, you know, anything. You could be whatever you want to be. You know, and like I think that's the appeal there. You know, like a lot of people get depressed. I get depressed because of all the hurts and like what do you do with that hurt? You got to get rid of it somehow. In a situation at that moment, uh, you know, with everything, I was confused. I was a young dad. I felt very, very depressed. I felt very, very suicidal. I just didn't care. I was nihilistic. All I wanted to do was drink. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to like, you know, I wanted to like be a dad, but I didn't know how to be a dad. You know, so I started writing poetry. You know, they're painting now for like 3 years, but since it's been like fermenting inside of me, it's all kind of coming out really hard and really not hard in a you know, it's just coming out hard and vibrant. You know, it's a very easy thing for me to paint. It's like I get frustrated and stuff like that, and I sometimes I say, what's the point of it all? But there's so much inside of me. It's like all this crap that's been building up inside of me for my whole life. I like now I can just unleash it onto the canvas or on whatever, you know. So yeah, I've always suicidal brink, and but still, you gotta really look at the reality of it. We're madness incarnate, you know. Like it's hell. We're almost. I mean, honestly, like all the beautiful things kind of set you up in a way to be mangled, and are very the. Well, I think it's true, you know. If you really just kind of like look at what at like the history of art in general, the history of like I, I I think it's true. I think that the connection is strong. It's you can't ignore it, you know. Um, and you know also looking so far back. There's this documentary by Werner Herzog where he finds these like cave paintings like in France that are like it's like you know, dated back to when man was very new. And so why were these people doing it, you know? Doing it from right from the beginning, cave paintings and all this primitive art and stuff. It's just intertwined. You know, I think that uh, the pain of existence has always been from the beginning. You know, you're alive and you're in pain. That's what it's about. And then how do you deal with those things? And art just is one of those things. It's an instinctual thing. And just as much as like wanting to survive. And I can take like all my frustrations, all my rage, all my very ego, and I could push it into that, like into there, and make it beautiful. I could like have this hateful feeling, this really, or a frustrated feeling, or a sick feeling, or a suicidal feeling, and then I can turn it into something beautiful.